Hey, welcome everybody. It is Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Time for Sci-Fi Distill. We have a special episode. Joining Mary Beth and myself is Brian Mix and the Salt Vampire from Planet M113, Nancy.
Hi, guys.
AKA Dave Harvey. We'll see how long Dave can stay in that mask before he.
The over-under is.
So we are gonna talk about the Land the Shuttle Galileo project that they are working on for Ticonderoga, New York, course set tour. But before we get all into that, I think we have a little bit of news to cover.
We have a little tiny bit of news. I only have three items in the news tonight, and as usual, I would like to hear your opinions on them. I'll do 3, 2, 1. Number 3. I'm going to call this segment Rizzo News from the Well, because every time someone you're always going, there's no original thoughts in Hollywood. They just keep going back to the same well. So, news from the well. Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are officially returning for a 4th installment of the blockbuster franchise The Mummy. Universal Pictures has put the movie for a wide theatrical release way the hell out in May 19 of 2028. I don't even think this thing is written yet. Never mind film.
They're going to be the mummies themselves.
They will be mummies themselves. But is this Weisz? Like, they're getting older. Do they?
Is that a pun? Is this Weisz?
Is this Weisz? Is this Rachel Weisz?
Well, it's again.
Up for it.
I don't know. Like I said, they're all getting a little older. I mean, I know they did the last one. They had their son. I don't know. Oh,
that's right. Maybe we'll finally see the son.
Well, we did see the son. The son was grown in the last one.
Yeah.
But he was a child in the second one. But I don't know. It's a money grab in my opinion.
This franchise is wildly popular, so.
It is, and the first one was great, and I think part of the reason the first one was good, it was a good movie, but of course it had groundbreaking effects at the time, which was the late 90s, which was really good, and it was a good movie. It was entertaining but the sequels were meh.
Hi, Doc.
As sequels go. So anyway, we'll see. It's like you said, it's 2 years off.
It's 2 years off. Dave and Brian have no opinion on the Mummy. Okay, moving on. Number 2.
I can't talk in that thing.
Oh, you can talk
other than to say that in Hollywood, if you book someone, you owe them money for every day you hold them. So if they're holding that spot, they're getting a paycheck monthly.
That's really interesting because they've made this official announcement. Like, this is official. Yeah. It was on Variety. It was on Hollywood Reporter. Like, it was all over that Brendan and Rachel are coming back. So that is really interesting. Are they being paid just to be held for this?
Yep, movie? They're getting paid right now and every month until the movie comes out. Until they start shooting. That's right. Until they start shooting.
If you can get it. That's some good stuff. Yeah. All right. So someone else who might be getting paid right now. Item number 2, Brad Pitt might be headed to Gotham. New reporting is suggesting that he may be taking the villain role in the Batman Part 2, possibly as Jeremiah Arkham. Just to remind everyone that the Batman is the one with Robert Pattinson, where the Batman is more like a detective than a superhero, which is technically keeping with the original concept.
The good one. Yeah.
The good one, yeah. So part 2 is also rumored to be a psychological film noir instead of a flashy action superhero villain thing. What do you guys think? Brian and Dave, how do you like your Batman? Do you like him a little bit detective? Do you like him a little bit action hero? Do you like Michael Keaton? Do you like Christian Bale?
I like him Dark Knight Detective.
You like Dark Knight Detective?
Dark Knight Detective. Yeah. Action hero, that's Spider-Man's gig.
Yeah, Spidey can do that and Superman can do that.
Yeah, I love the campy 60s version of Batman. I mean, it was just because I was a kid and that I'm also really a fan of the Arkham video game series of Batman, which was the dark version. But this sounds like it could be an interesting project, and it could be good. Brad Pitt's, of course, he's a great actor, so I'm sure he'll do
Brad Pitt's good. But have we all latched on to Robert Pattinson as the Batman? I guess we have.
I mean, Brad Pitt, as a villain, other than like 12 Monkeys, I can't think of anything he's been in this even close to a villain.
Fight Club.
No, close. That's close.
12 Monkeys is where he proved to me that he could really act.
Yeah.
Because he was just awesome in that.
He was good and tough. Yeah.
So,
all right, finally tonight, last piece of news. The big sports ball game was this past weekend, and if you are a Pats fan like me,
it was not good.
No, it wasn't good. However, Of course, there's always Super Bowl always has the ads, and this year they dropped a bunch of trailers, and among the trailers were some sci-fi trailers. And since this is sci-fi distilled, they did a Supergirl trailer with Crypto as a puppy, very cute. They did Project
I missed
Hail Mary.
that one.
I miss Supergirl. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Supergirl. Yeah, I
it was
miss
there.
Supergirl.
It was there. It was the one with Crypto's puppy, and she picks him up. Okay, never mind. Anyway, Project Hail Mary. Super Mario, that doesn't count. Hoppers, which is a children's animated thing, but it does technically have science in it. It is very much fiction, so I guess that counts. They also had Disclosure Day.
Yeah.
And then finally, they had this thing, and I'm not even calling it a trailer. They had this spot for Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
That I could not make heads or tails of. Rizzo,
it's getting quite. There's a lot of. There's a lot of.
Can you briefly tell everyone what the spot was, like what was happening in the spot?
So it starts out with you see kind of this paw in the snow, and then it pulls. You basically realize it's a tauntaun, which we really haven't seen since.
Well, you're going way too fast here. It starts in a long snowy shot of what looks like a horse is being pulled in a carriage with the same voiceover guy that does the Budweiser.
Right,
so
it's supposed to look like a Budweiser.
It looks like a Budweiser.
And then you reveals that it's them in kind of this, Star Wars-esque
right.
Yeah. And people are freaking out about it, but I'm like, they're saying this is the best they could do, and I'm like, I don't think it was a trailer. I think it was an ad for the movie.
It was just a spoof on
and people are like wigging out that like, is this the best they can do? And I'm like, it was supposed to be a joke on the Budweiser
commercial. It was already
commercial.
a whole other trailer for this
so
movie.
I don't know. I mean, people kind of
Yeah.
freak out about stupid stuff, but whatever. So, but that was the one I think, and then the Hail Mary one really wasn't any different. I didn't see anything particularly.
Everyone in the chat is chiding me because they felt that Shatner's Raisin Bran commercial also should count as sci-fi. Yes,
it was funny. Yeah. So yeah.
It was.
But here's the thing, guys. Do you remember like the first time Mr. Shatner ever came? And for some reason, we were all like, "Don't call him Shat. Don't call him the Shat." And now suddenly, and then we thought he didn't like that, and now suddenly he's embracing it. He's embracing, being.
I think there was a pretty good paycheck to embrace with that.
That'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: was the whole video of him who caught him eating the cereal at the traffic light?
Beautiful marketing.
Was that on purpose? It has to
Absolutely.
be, right? It has to be.
Absolutely.
That was at first we're like, oh, look at that random, but then it was like, no.
Genius.
Okay.
No, it never seemed random ever because
it did seem kind of
Mr. Shatner. He would never eat like properly with a bowl and a spoon.
I don't know. When you say that, but the times I've spent with him, I could see him doing that.
Well, you've driven with him. Has ever eaten in the car while you're driving with him?
That. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just get the feel when you kind of get him outside of. That's the thing. It's like me and Joel and stuff. We've had that, and John have had that. At least had that wonderful experience to see him out away from, the public.
And Joel says he's famous for wanting to stop and get food along the way.
He's very down to earth that way in some ways, which you wouldn't expect. So I could see him doing it and just be like, "Oh well, all right, I'm just eating." But the key was he didn't have his dogs with him, and he will tell you he goes everywhere with the dogs if he can.
Yeah.
So his two Dobermans. So anyway.
Interesting.
Anyway, hey, thanks a lot. I just want to say Phil and Gina and of course Doc Alexander. I figured you'd be busy with Artemis, and Alex McDonald. Thank you guys for joining. If I missed anybody in there, just want to say people.
Hi guys. Joel's here. Hey, Joel.
So anyway,
that's all the news I have tonight. What are we drinking tonight, Rizzo?
Drinking
as we
Galileo.
That's exactly
a drink called Galileo. Believe it or not, I did not make this up. Campari sweet vermouth, Contro, lemon juice, and some tequila. Sounds not bad, actually.
Okay.
Not a big fan of the tequila, but I don't know. Give it a shot.
Okay.
Maybe we need to get that together when we christen it. We'll have
there
it.
You go.
We need to have. We
there
can't
you go. Actually, we're talking about.
We can't serve it. We can drink it off hours.
We're talking about
we can drink it at the pub later.
We can drink it at the pub.
We're talking about a cocktail reception in the not the briefing room, in the recreation room during the September event.
We lost Dave.
He'll be back.
Keep going. He'll be back.
We're a cocktail reception in the recreation room on the set in September. So that's
All right.
one
Let's
of
find
our
out. Let's find out about
Kickstarter
that because
add-ons.
there may be rules about alcohol. So
Sorry.
Maybe synthahol. You're right. We have to work that out.
Okay,
Synthahol,
so
exactly.
let's back up a little bit. You guys have been working on that. Everybody, hope most people watching know they're aware of the Shuttlecraft Galileo from the original TV series. It, of course, it was lost for many years, and there's some interesting story behind that. If you guys, if you want to talk about that, and then it was restored. I'm giving the very, very Evelyn Wood abridged version. Ultimately, it was in Houston at NASA for many years, toured a little bit around the country. And basically, NASA wanted to kind of move it out, change of management, I guess. And it ended up in Ticonderoga. Of course, we didn't have any space for it at the set tour. So that is what this project is about, is to build the space, the landing, the shuttle bay, we'll call it, the hangar, whatever. And Brian and Dave have been working very, very hard on this project, and they're starting a Kickstarter, which was, I'll let them go from here, but tell us about the project in general. Either one.
Okay. Well, the James was able to work out with the city some land out in front of the building, and we poured a foundation. We're able to get that done. So the foundation's poured, and the contractor is ready to go as soon as it stops snowing in Ticonderoga to start building our building. We just need some funding, and we decided to do a Kickstarter to try to get the funding to build the building to put the Galileo in. Now the Galileo is there. She's safe in a nice warm building for a little polish up before she goes into the final building. It's what?
Too warm.
Too warm. Too warm. We just got our heating bill for the Galileo. That's why he said that. Yeah, it's really cold in Ticonderoga.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're running a Kickstarter. We've got a bunch of cool events and things you can receive for your pledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
the thing.
Go ahead.
I was going to jump in too is that the studio tour is a long tradition of the little engine that could. I mean, James started it, and a bunch of you guys were all there long before I came around, where it really was that little engine that could story of like 2 sticks put together make 3 sticks, and suddenly you got a studio, and you're shooting films and then transitioning to this thing. And in the same level, what people need to understand is it was very difficult and expensive to figure out how to put this thing on. And a lot of attempts by James to figure it out. And we're very fortunate that it was able to be figured out, and that we're looking for everybody's help to do a little help with the little engine that could. That's the Star Trek studio tour. And make this happen, man.
We should mention, just in case the folks don't know, that this is a Paramount sanctioned museum. This is not a bunch of fans who put together a fan film and we're going to invite people over and have them give us money. No, this is a Paramount sanctioned, licensed facility, and we're building a building right next to it.
Yeah. So tell us about, well, I guess what you're thinking of. So the building, the concrete's been poured, and it's going to come off. If those of you have been to the set tour before, and you know how the parking lot is, it's going to come off the front of the parking lot into the parking lot, I should say. So, I mean, what are you guys thinking about as far as the interior? I know there was some talk of video walls at one time.
Well, that's actually what's really exciting about that is we've got Star Trek set designers, Doug Drexler and Darren Dockerman, ready to design us a shuttle bay. So they're going to design what the inside of the shuttle bay is going to look like. One of our stretch goals in our Kickstarter is to put up what's called a volume wall in TV. It's what they use on The Mandalorian for where they put a video background behind the actors. The actors act. We can do the same thing there and put the Galileo in the shuttle bay on the Enterprise, flying in space, landing on a planet. But like I said, that's a stretch goal. We have to build the building first, and then we'll worry about the video wall in the background. Yeah.
Right. And it's not just, so people understand that it's not just a metal building that we got. There's a lot to it, because you have to have environmental controls. To be put in a Star Trek term, you got to have power. You need lighting. Yep. You know, it's all kinds of things that go in there. It's not just this metal storage facility that it's going to go in. You know, it's going to be like its own little studio, really.
Yeah, Rizzo's going to hang lights for us. We're going to get a real cool little light show. So you
Yeah.
have nighttime Galileo, you have daytime Galileo, you have taking off Galileo. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and I've tapped, like I think I told you guys, I tapped you guys. I think a lot of people online know Jeff Barklage, who worked with us on New Voyages and knows Finnerman Lighting. He's an excellent DP, currently working, and he is very excited to join us on the project once we get to that phase. So it's going to be cool, and I think we will hopefully have some different lighting. Again, whatever our budget tends to be, some different, so we can change the lighting in there from like different scenes.
That would be amazing. And yeah, and then the other thing is the transition from the set. As people would come in the tour, they would go to their left and go past Med Bay, right? What is it called?
Yeah.
And then they're going to go through a set of doors to this transition that's going to be a recreation of the Shuttle Bay hangar observation deck. And so it'll look like as if they're looking down on the Shuttle Bay and then going into the actual Shuttle Bay itself. So that's pretty exciting too. We have a whole thing with this. It's a big addition to what's going on there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the observation deck they had on the show a couple of times, but they could never afford to turn the camera and look down at what they were seeing. So, Shannon would point and go, "There's the shuttlecraft right there," but they couldn't show it because they couldn't afford it. So we've got, Darren is going to help us out with some 3D models and Doug to build video screens. So when you look down, you can see the shuttle bay and the shuttle operations. That's a stretch goal. We still have to build the building first, but that's loaded in there. And if you go to our when we go live, it's at the bottom of the page is the stretch goal. So we've got some pictures of what we have in mind.
Yeah, and we've also developed some custom swag that's going to be just available at the Kickstarter for lovers of the Galileo and supporters of the Galileo. And we are, we love that stuff ourselves. So we were pretty particular in developing some really cool things for people.
Are you keeping this swag a surprise, or is there anything you can show?
Oh no, we're gonna tell you guys on the scoop tonight what we're gonna show, what we're gonna have, and then we're gonna start putting it on Facebook over the next couple of days before we launch on Saturday, and that's another scoop you guys can have.
You guys get some swag.
Saturday, 12:01 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna launch the Kickstarter. And that's when you can start getting the cool swag and the big item. I think the biggest item is one of these, and I'll hold it up here. This is a sample of what it's going to look like. We have actual pieces from the Galileo for when it was restored, pieces they couldn't reuse because they're too damaged. In a little display case like this is something you can pick up starting Saturday on our Kickstarter page.
Very cool.
That's a big
Galileo.
This is. A number of people who are into Star Trek know this glass because it's a recreation of the glass that Gene Roddenberry gave to set and crew at a party, and Matt Jeffries did the artwork for. And what we are doing is this same glass is still available. Arcane knowledge, so we do that stuff. It's a Libby blah 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 glass you can still get. So we're doing a Galileo glass that is going to be in gold. That will be a set with this, so that if you have this or if you don't have it, it's a great bit of Star Trek lore. And we're putting out on the same glass a super gorgeous looking glass that people can get, beautifully produced because it's fun.
The other exciting thing, I don't have a sample with me, is Michael Okuda, who's designed patches for NASA and for the Smithsonian Institution, has designed us a Mission Galileo patch that you'll be able to get on our Kickstarter as well. And that, I think that's super cool because it's rare you get someone. What's great about this project is because people love the Galileo so much, you're getting these artists who are professionals in the business donating their talents to help us out. It's great.
Yeah, Mike really also hit on what's become our logo for the whole thing. This sort of minimalist shuttlecraft image that we love, that came out in the process of developing the patch, and now it's on the T-shirt that we're going to have, and people can get I helped land. What does it say on the back?
I helped
Brian?
land the Galileo on the back of the T-shirt.
Yeah, and then it has the minimalist shuttle on the front, and it's a gorgeous shirt. And then we've got the hats for it too, a Galileo hat. They're super sharp. I was trying to see. I have that framed logo we did at Shatner, but my office has exploded with all this business.
Yeah.
I have no idea where it is in the pile here.
That's
It's
okay. We'll
here.
all see it. We'll all
Sure.
see it when
Yeah.
the Kickstarter launches, of course. So what are so those are some of the I want to say lower tier, but what are you guys planning for, like some big potential?
So much.
So much. We're excited, like
There's-
really excited.
Really,
Yeah.
it's you can see the grin in my face. So there's two
Yeah.
events coming up. There's the 60th anniversary event in June with William Shatner, and then there's the shuttle launch day or Galileo weekend is going to be in September. So we have events on both of those upcoming things at the set. The first one, the exciting one, is we're going to have a backstage tour of the Galileo. So the Galileo won't be on the set; it'll be in its little hangar where it is now, getting cleaned up with William Shatner. So you can sign up to have your photo taken with Bill and hang out for about half hour with Bill, talk about the shuttle, see our progress so far. And then the real exciting one is never before offered and exclusive is a dinner with William Shatner. And when I say a dinner with William Shatner, I'm not talking about the Admiral's dinner with 100 people, it's 10 people.
Yeah.
You,
10 people.
10
Private
people
dinner?
and Bill Shatner.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Very private dinner.
Like
That's awesome.
people's dream to get to have a private dinner with the man, the myth, the legend, Captain Kirk.
That's really special.
So
And that's something I'm sure a lot of people talk about just going up to when he's there at the set and getting the bridge chat or something is
Mhm.
kind of their once in a lifetime. Can you imagine? This is like the next level up.
yeah.
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 No, I mean, it is for 10 lucky people, it'll be an evening of a lifetime. The guy, as you know, and we know from being there, Mike knows, this guy's amazing. And he's a presence. And he will light up that table. And it'll be a thing to remember. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be alive at 94, but if I am, I would love to do that.
He's almost he'll be 95 next month. If you can believe it.
95, yeah.
Yeah. And to be doing that, it's amazing. And then are we telling who's at the dedication event? Is that
Well, we can talk about the dedication event in September. So that's the November things. And then in September, we're doing a whole bunch of things.
all the things.
All the things,
Oh.
including a rechristening of the Galileo in its new home. So you can sign up to be in the room for the christening with stars from the original series. We can say that. These are names
can
you'll
say
know. These are stars from the original series, and you
People
will
you will
recognize
recognize.
immediately. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
You will
people
recognize
you will
them immediately.
recognize.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So there's all kinds of different levels of participation you can have in that. There are chats in the bay sitting next to the Galileo. There are chats with these stars. There's you can be in the room for the christening. At a lower level, you can be sitting on the bridge of the Enterprise, watching the christening live on the view screen. There's even one ticket to be sitting in the captain's chair for that event. If you're there quickly enough to get that one ticket, you can sit in the chair to watch the christening live on the view screen.
And there's an opportunity to be immortalized in this process, as the bridges of the Enterprises had a dedication plaque. We're having one, a beautiful one that's going to be there, and also an extension plaque below for additional names. And then people who either can't attend or the people who are able to attend this big event have an opportunity to have their names permanently in there in the shuttle hangar to memorialize their commitment and love for the Galileo.
Now, an important point on that is we're listing them on the plaque in the order you pledge. Not
Yeah.
alphabetical order, the
Nope.
order you pledge. So first person to pledge, top of the list.
Press the button.
Yeah.
Do it
Yeah.
fast, and you will be. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. You will be rewarded for your speed.
And every person who pledges at a level to be on the plaque will get a copy of the plaque with their name on it.
Yeah, we're doing it won't be this, there's the fancy, but a nice version of the plaque that you can have at home, which will have your name on it. So we're doing these really nice packages for people. We're pretty damn excited about it.
Wow, that sounds pretty good. I mean, I don't know what the levels you guys are looking at, but I mean, it's
billions.
Billions and billions.
Are we
That's
talking like White House ballroom type? No.
Oh,
there will be. But Brian can probably speak to this better. But Brian, I'm guessing that there will be all levels. So no matter what your budget is, there will be something for you to choose.
It starts at $7.
There you go.
And goes up from there.
Yeah, and there's some level. We wanted to make it available to everybody. I mean, to come to the dedication event, well, you'll have to lay down some.
Let me put it this way: if you're used to paying prices for seeing TOS stars at the set tour, these prices are going to be in that vicinity.
Yeah, and then things that are more approachable for people and work, so that we have something for everyone. But that everybody can also help us with this amazing project. And I would love it if we could make all our stretch goals and build this crazy.
And if you don't like a package, most of our physical items are available as add-ons also. So add-ons are tricky in Kickstarter, but if you read carefully, you can pledge in one package and then add the add-on stuff you want. So it's pretty much a shopping cart. Although we have some great builds in our packages. If you keep going up the level, you get everything the person below you got. So it's
right. Yeah. We wanted to make it. We talked about it a lot, and we're fans, so we wanted to make it fan friendly, where people could get what they want, and we wanted to make quality things that they would like. So
if you want a piece of the shuttle and you don't care about anything else, you can get a piece of the shuttle and get out. That's great too.
Yeah, and we're going to have really cool stuff. We're announcing there's going to be this dinner and other things that are amazing on day one. We're rolling out some pretty stupendous things as we go along. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And those will be available as add-ons. So say somebody bought a package and then you rolled out something new and like, oh, I want to add that. They can just go back and add it on.
Yeah, these are add-ons. Yeah, that you can go back.
People that are following our Kickstarter and have already pledged our Kickstarter will find out about the add-ons 24 hours before the general public. And some of these are going to be very exclusive and going to go quick. So it's good to be on our list.
Some of these are limited, correct?
Yes. These are limited.
There's only so many pieces.
Yeah, there's only so many pieces of the Galileo. Yeah.
I mean,
there's only 10 seats at Shatner's table. Yeah,
right.
There are limits. Yeah.
Right. And the photo ops with the Galileo with Bill, which I can't say will happen again. We don't know. It may not. And so usually the photo shoots at the tour are done on the bridge. This is like a special thing. Yep. So in any case, there's only like 20, 25 of those?
25.
25 of those. A lot of things are going to have a limited number on them. And, people will want to jump on them if they're in.
Cool. So Dr. Alexander is saying, tell the fans when this starts. I think it is so appropriate that you are actually launching on Valentine's Day because we are doing this because we love Star Trek.
Well, Dr. Alexander, tell him to read the scroll at the bottom. It says
read
right
the scroll at the bottom.
Is it really there?
It's been rolling.
Watching this at home or his office or what?
Right here.
There you go.
Yeah. But it's going to be he's trying to help us make sure we get the word out.
Yeah, it's this Saturday at noon, and Mary Beth has posted a link to follow it right now.
There are a bunch of links in this chat.
You can go to Kickstarter right now and click the follow button, and you'll get all of the updates.
Yeah.
There's another thing you can get on there that I can show you. Now, I do custom product for the Star Trek gift shop. And this set of Tranya glasses just came out in November that I produced for James and for the store. Normally, you got to go there and get them. Like, that's how it is. You want to show up, you want to get a set of these, but these are going to be available, these Tranya glasses, which are gorgeous, just for sale as an add-on as well. So if you want a set of these, this is a rare opportunity to do it and be able to pledge and get them.
Yeah, they are beautiful. I have a set. I should be drinking out of one.
We should be drinking out of our tiny glasses.
Yeah.
Phil is saying he's trying to remember how many times the shuttlecraft actually appeared in Star Trek. I know for sure the Galileo 7.
Well, it's
what
hilarious
other
that the interior of the shuttle is shown many more times than the exterior.
Yeah.
Again, because it's expensive to shoot the model. So there's the model, there's the full size, and then there's the interior, which are three different things because the interior was a set separate from the exterior. And the exterior of the ship is only seen like 3 or 4 times. Galileo 7 Metamorphosis, the one with the hippies, name escapes me.
Way to Eden.
Way to Eden. Briefly in Journey to Babel.
Yep.
And then briefly in the Immunity Syndrome.
Yeah.
But it's really only seen in its glory in Metamorphosis Galileo 7. And
those are the two.
yeah,
and I
those are
think
the
we
two.
actually, I think you actually see in some ways in Metamorphosis, you get to see more of when he's working on the engine in the back, and you see a little more detail on the outside than the actual Galileo 7.
And what I didn't know until we talked to Adam Schneider. We haven't mentioned Adam Schneider. We've got to talk about Adam.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, give us the history of from the time. I know Doug did a nice little video, but give us what happened. Okay, the show has ended. What happened to the shuttle?
The show ends and they donate it to the School for the Blind. And I'm guessing that's so that the kids could run their hands on the outside. I mean, they can't look at it, but they could play on it with it. So it was donated to the School of the Blind, who had it for a while, and then they sold it to an individual whose name escapes me. I've met him once back in the 70s when it was sitting in an RV parking lot outside in Los Angeles. And it was already got the roof was already drooping, and the nacelles were already rusting. The nacelles on that are steel. The nacelles are steel. The uprights are steel. They weigh a ton, and they do
very
rust.
heavy.
But which is good because if they built them out of wood or cardboard or something, they'd be gone. But the nice thing about the nacelles is they're exactly as they were on the show now because they're steel, the steel tube. And it literally went from person's front yard to person's front yard to person's front yard to a junkyard where it was the junkyard went out of business and they bulldozed the junkyard but skipped the Galileo. It was the one thing left standing. Somebody found it on Google Earth and it was found, and eventually Adam Schneider, who is the what's the right word? The saint who saved the Galileo, pulled it out of the person's yard and brought it to a shipbuilding company and had it refurbished as a ship. So it's wood and fiberglass and painted with epoxy paint like a ship would be made.
Actually, the other saint was the bulldozer operator who didn't bulldoze.
Bulldoze the Galileo. It could have been bulldozed.
I wonder if you wonder if that person was a Star Trek fan, knew what the heck he said. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe he was going to take it home himself. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
yeah. That was in 2012, and then that was a huge restoration process. And then that begat things that a lot of people got to see, like the Galileo on the Intrepid underneath the Enterprise, which I saw was really cool. And then it was at NASA at their Space Center for 5 years, I think, right?
And Midway, don't forget the Midway in New York.
And the Midway, okay.
Yeah. And then like so many things with the space people, they love the Star Trek stuff, and then they eventually go, this didn't really actually fly in space. Should we be displaying it? Right? And that's how the 11-foot Enterprise wound up in the gift shop in the Smithsonian, and that's how the Shuttlecraft wound up in the cafeteria in Houston. And this was not the astronauts' cafeteria. This was the public cafeteria where it was climbed on by kids and otherwise abused. And Adam, who's on the board of the Dave, help me. What's the name of it? Of the actual
Space
name?
Center Houston.
Space Center Houston had it loaned to the James and the Star Trek set tour, which is where it is today.
Right.
Yeah, it still has the stickers that say "Don't step on" that we're going to have to get removed, and it's very exciting too, as they did a great job with all that. But James has managed to find a few details that could be improved on the outside to be more accurate. And there's a little bit of touch-up restoration that we need to do, just because it's been since 2012 and she's been hauled around, so she needs a little, just some touching up and care.
Yeah.
I see William has a text in here. Does the SFX model still exist? Yes, it just recently sold at auction. So yeah, it does still exist.
Is it?
That's the little one, right?
That's the little one. Yeah, little one. It's this big. Yeah, yeah.
I had somebody watching text me that they want to know the links. So how can we get them to the links, Brian, that they need?
Actually, Alex, I think, had posted in the chat the links to your
scroll
X
back in the chat, or you know what? I will post some more links in the chat.
And Mary Beth did post it in the chat. So if you guys scroll back, I don't know. I might have to redo it because I think your chat, Mary Beth, only shows up on Facebook. So if they're watching on YouTube,
yes, if you're watching on YouTube, I cannot get to YouTube at this moment without.
Oops, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do that.
That's a lot of look.
You did it. You did it.
Mary Beth, send it to me in chat on Facebook, and I'll repost it.
I can also tell the folks that if you search Star Trek inside of Kickstarter, it'll come up.
Yeah, just put in Galileo, actually.
Galileo.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in preview mode in Galileo. And my friend is saying he's watching on YouTube and he was looking.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
So a couple of things. We've set up a Facebook page called Project Galileo 7 that people can go to for their Facebook access. We just set up an X page and Instagram and a whole bunch of things to be able to reach out to people. And one thing I would ask for anybody who's watching this who could help spread the word, we're appreciative. Not only if you're interested, but if you help share the links and the love, we really appreciate that.
I'm sure everybody watching here knows at least 2 or 3 Star Trek fans that aren't here watching already. You know what I'm saying? And so get out there and tell them. I've been already posting it a lot. I have friends that are Star Trek fans that didn't even know the set tour exists until I started talking about it. So, get out there and spread the word for sure, because we got to hit the goal. If we hit the stretch goals, that's even so much better.
Yeah, I think in the next day or two, we're going to post just a little blurb of William Shatner on the bridge saying, please help us land the shuttle. And if you guys could share that around, hashtag Shatner, I think it'll help us spread quickly.
Yeah, because I think that, like you said, we were talking, that gives it so much more credibility. Not that you guys need it. I mean, we all know, but I mean, I think to the average person saying, who are these guys?
Yeah.
And see Bill on there, and even Doug and Mike, and I think you're gonna have Mike and Denise do some stuff. All those things, because like I said, people know whether. I don't think there's a person in this country who doesn't know who William Shatner is. At least they've heard the name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They may, So I mean, that alone gives it the project so much weight.
Wasn't he in TJ Hooker? Was it TJ Hooker?
You might know, or they might know him from Boston Legal, or or something like that, or a Raisin Brand commercial.
So. I mean, that's a huge thing. I can't believe we were able to get that. And we have the thing is, the Galileo is a loved thing. It really is.
It's a star all on its own. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of fans, and a lot of people like the Akutas and Doug Drexler and Darren Dockerman has been just donating so much time to helping. Yeah. And so many other people that are really helping with this. I'm going to give a shout out to Brandon, who's watching, is a friend of Brian of mine and a fellow Star Trek nerd who is also a big lover of the Galileo.
He's hip deep in this project. He's just kind of a silent partner until just now.
Yeah, yeah, he's been a huge help too, and it takes many of us just trying to figure out, guys, like this. We have to move this thing, and it weighs thousands of pounds.
Yeah,
and when we touched it up, we have to move it from where it is carefully into this new facility, and that's a whole thing. And like Brian and Brandon and I are putting our heads together on how to do that safely and carefully, and also in a reasonable budget.
That's going to be a fun day because we're going to basically parade this thing down Main Street, Ticonderoga. Because we're one end and it's at the other. We're just going to have to parade it right down, close the street and parade the Galileo down.
It's going to be a thing that day. Yeah.
Galileo moving day.
Yeah.
And
exciting.
And it's big. I know it's 3/4 scale to how big it should be for the interior, but when you stand next to it, it's huge.
Yeah,
it is huge. I really didn't get it until we like unwrapped
stand next to it and go, damn.
This thing.
and when we looked at it that day, when we moved it into where it is now, it didn't even have the nacelles on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It was huge without the nacelles, and then you put the nacelles on it, and it's quite the chunk. And really, you were saying earlier, we're lucky now. Now that was built by AMT, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't built. And I was saying, I think I was telling you guys if this had been built by the mill, so to speak, that does props and sets for the show, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Because they would have never built that the way it's built, because it's all, like I said, the nacelles are steel. There's a steel frame inside. The landing gear is actually, I think, a real landing gear off an airplane from some aircraft somewhere. I mean, they built this thing, even though the plywood didn't survive the years, the frame and everything of it did. And like I said, if it had been built like a prop, it would have weighed about 5 ounces and it would have lasted about 20 minutes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way I worked in television for many years. I built sets, and you didn't build them for that. It didn't need to be. It didn't need to work. It just needed to look good. And so we really are lucky that AMT built the thing, because like I said, we wouldn't be here today having this conversation.
We were there with Adam, and I pulled up this steel stick with a dolly wheel on it. It's like, what is this? He goes, it's the wheels. It's like, what do you mean it's the wheels? He says, somehow those attached to the nacelles of the shuttle so it can roll. So they can roll it on and off the stage. It hasn't been on its wheels, but apparently it has wheels that can go on the nacelles. We just have to figure out how to hook them back up again.
That makes sense too, because they probably didn't leave it. You know, they had a separate set area or studio for their Planet sets, and I imagine they would roll that in and out as needed, or into their whatever set they had for the shuttle bay.
And then you just put a little alien shrubby thing in front of the wheel.
And
then away it goes. Yeah, you hide it exactly. So. Yeah, you were talking earlier about, I mean, when it was at the Intrepid was where I saw it the first time. And when we were was one of the first events that the set tour did in New York. It was the 50th, right? Yeah, it was the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. So over 10 years ago. And it was at the Javits Center in New York. And we were there as part of the event as a not as a vendor, but as an exhibitor. And a group of us had gotten together ahead of time, bought tickets to the Intrepid Museum, and there were separate tickets to see the shuttle and it was the shuttle and the shuttle, because it was the Shuttle Enterprise and the Shuttle Galileo in the same hangar. And we made a point to go see it while we were in New York working the event. And like Dave said, it was really cool. I have pictures of it. To see it sitting under the wing of the Shuttle Enterprise, the space shuttle, which, again, if you've never seen one of those up close, that's another amazing piece of engineering. And the fact that thing flies, or sort of falls out of the sky, but lands.
Falling with style.
Yeah, they called it the Flying Brickyard, back in the day. So, that was much bigger than I think my brain wrapped around it until you see it sitting on its landing gear, you know, and then of course now here's Galileo tucked under one of the wings. It was a really cool experience. They did a nice job there, and I thought I never thought I'd see it again, you know, unless I went to Houston because it went back. But here we are talking about a permanent home just a few hours away. It's just really cool. And I think you're right. It means a lot to Star Trek fans. And particularly, I feel it does because, you know, real fans don't get to see much original series props. You never now. Glenn, what's his last name? That has all the really cool stuff that comes up. Bought all the stuff.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to bump into Glenn at
Glenn is very liberal with his props, and he has all these original series props, and he'll just pull them out of his pocket and hand it to you like it's nothing. So unless you run into Glenn, and he's often at the tour during events, and he's a very nice man, you know, you don't ever get to handle or even see this stuff. So I think the fact that people are going to be able to come and see this piece of original history from the show, you know, the same one that Bill and Leonard stood in front of, you know, and having a conversation, whether it be in Metamorphosis.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a scoop. Mr. Colley would like to join us. Rizzo, can you send him a link?
Oh,
really?
Sure.
All right, Rizzo's going to send you a link, probably by even
Facebook
email
Messenger.
or
I'll send it Facebook. It's easier if I send it Facebook Messenger.
Facebook. So look on your Facebook Messenger.
All right, discuss while I do this.
Okay.
Yep, Rizzo's going to send you a link so you can come on.
And I was going to point out, I saw David Alexander's comment
Yes, you
how
can.
NASA wanted to keep it.
Okay.
Space Center Houston let it go. And they actually, you know, the astronauts apparently loved this thing, and they loved getting to see it. And, you know, there were big fans. And
Doc told me a story that he was every time he would give a tour, he'd bring them all the astronauts. Here's the shuttlecraft from Galileo, and one day it wasn't there. He went to show him that and it was gone. Where'd it go?
So yeah, I sent it to him. So I'm just waiting for him to sign in. So
Okay,
amazing.
that's a special. That's scoop we did not plan on James joining
That's
us.
scoop we did not plan.
Yeah, I love it. This is great.
So,
This is
it's wonderful that so many people again are interested in this, and I have all faith that we're gonna fund it probably faster than you guys think. I
I
think.
don't know if he has a camera.
And there's
Like a-
James. There he is.
there he is.
Hello, James. Welcome.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
James.
man.
How are you?
So
I'm okay. I've never done this before.
that's okay.
Well, you're
Tell us
doing
all
fine
about it.
already.
Tell us
Yeah.
about
Am I
Galileo.
supposed to be drinking with this broadcast?
No.
Or
Sure, if you'd like.
if I'd like,
James will have his
You
first
need
drink
to.
on this show.
I would have my first drink. Yeah. Well, it says distilled, and you're all drinking something, so it's just a little, you know.
All
Exactly.
right, tell us about it.
I'm not. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble already.
I just wanted to jump on and make it known that I'm so very happy and proud and pleased of all of you. You know, you've been volunteers and you've been great friends for so many years now, and I just can't say thank you enough that you've all banded together to, you know, try to raise money to make this a reality, so that the fans can actually see Galileo and it has a lasting place of exhibition. We all know the history of it, and I'm not in a, despite people's beliefs, I'm not a multimillionaire. I'm not Bruce Wayne, and you know, so this is a massive undertaking, and you know, you guys know how much money that I poured into just transporting it from Texas to New York and storing it for a number of years and all of that kind of thing. So what you're doing is very, very special. It's unnoticed and it is not unappreciated. I just want you all to know that it's a very cool thing that you're doing to help the tour. So I'm very appreciative.
Thank you, James.
Well, you're very
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you, James.
Yeah, we just love that. We love everything about the set, of course. And
Yeah, I was just saying, I like the analogy, even though it's a little bit the child book thing, but you know, the set is the little engine that could, really is. Where
No,
you-
it is. It really is. It
And
started
you
out
did
as a playground for people to live out their own adventures and experience, you know, the filming world of Star Trek, and it mutated into being able to share that with everybody so that people could walk into the into the space and feel, you know, what it would have been like to have been there all those years ago. And when you sit back and take it all in now, you realize that Galileo is the missing part of it. It was there from you know, the early days of the first season, and it belongs with the set. It really does.
It's so exciting. It really is really exciting.
We're all
It is.
so excited to have it there.
And
Can't wait to show it off.
folks out there, when you stand next to it, you won't believe it. I mean, we've all had a chance to get close to it, and the chills run down your back, and you can't believe you're standing next to it. And that just were like Rizzo said, where Leonard and Bill stood, and it's goosebumps time. It really is.
It's when you sit back and realize it's one of only a few remaining pieces from the original series. You know, the captain's chair, the helm, those things, they're in private collections and museums, and you can't get close to them. The shuttlecraft, you know, you're going to be able to get close to it. You're going to be able to take pictures with it, and you're going to be able to, you know, experience it the way the actors experienced it.
Yeah, we're, you know, James, it's a lot of work for all of us, and you know that. You've been doing a lot of work just on this corridor that you're doing.
Yeah. I was there this morning again from 8 o'clock, and I got home about an hour ago. So
Folks, if you haven't seen James's video, only James Cawley would raise the red line in the hallway. Was it 18 inches? How high up did it go?
Yeah, tell us about what you're doing with the corridor, James.
well, the corridor had to be last summer. I had a great conversation with Donnie Versiga from Roddenberry.com. He'd been wanting to come to the tour for a long time, and he was quite overwhelmed with it. And when he walked through the corridors at some point in the afternoon, he pulled me aside and he said, "Hey, have you looked at the red line at the top of the corridors, because it looks different than the screenshots I'm looking at?" And so he pulled me aside and we started looking at shots, and there was a discrepancy definitely in what we had done and what was done on the original series. And after we started looking at this, we realized that the blueprints, the elevations that I have, were drafted in early 1965. So we believe that they built the set a certain way and then realized when they went to series that they had to change it to make it easier to film. So basically that red line changed, and I'm not going to get into dimensions and all of that kind of thing, but for obvious reasons, guys, you know the reasons, but we had to change it. And so that made it so that we had to tear out all of the headers throughout all 40 some, you know, feet of the curved corridor, and then the two short corridors. We had to tear it all out and do it over. And in the course of studying the screenshots that we had, the high definition shots and the cut scenes that we had, we realized that even that the moire inserts in those headers were cutouts, and that they were actually backlit, that they dropped a light bulb down into each one from the top. And it's really incredibly visible in the first season because they changed colors, and we know they're internally lit because there's no color splash. The colors are confined to the moire, and there's no way you could bounce the light off the moire and just contain it in the moire. So we knew instantly that they were internally lit. So we've made all those changes.
And one thing we should add here is the guy that mentioned to James it should be higher. His job at the Roddenberry.com is building the 3D model of the Enterprise you can walk through.
Right.
So that's the kind of detail guy that would go to James. The only other person in the world besides James who would see this and go, "Oh, we have to change that." Yeah.
And it's funny that I never caught it, but you know, it's one of those things where you have the original blueprint and you're looking at it and you take it as gospel. And we all know that, but they do change things. You know, they make mistakes and then they self-correct, and they don't note blueprints, or they don't, you know, put it in the scripts or whatever. They just make the changes, particularly back then.
And if you've been to the set tour before, when you walk through it now, you'll go, "Oh yeah.
It also
right. So special now.
It also, the amazing thing we discovered yesterday is that when you're in it now, it literally squares the image like 4:3 television. And not 69. It's like really 4:3. It's a very square. You know, when you're in the corridor now, it's very square. And you'll see it when you guys cut. It's literally, we are finishing the paint now. all the plantons are going back on the walls on Friday, and when we open Saturday, the corridor is done.
Nice.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
you have kind of a little event going on Saturday, right? That you might
Yeah,
wanna-
yeah,
wanna
just a little
pitch it?
Valentine's thing with a little reception for those that bring their loved one with them, and
Greenlight
some
for
screenings.
everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
and they
exciting.
can
And
find out about that, of course, on your website, StarTrekTour.com.
we're gonna
So
give.
I stumbled onto your broadcast and just wanted to pop in real quick while I had a minute. I actually need to get into a shower because the parts of me that you can't see are covered with gray and red paint, sawdust, and
Well,
Well,
thank you,
right.
James, and
And
you're
all of
welcome,
that.
of course, anytime. We're here every Wednesday.
well, I just wanted to pop in and say thank you, to Dave and Brian for this, and to Mary Beth and to you, Rizzo. I mean, you guys have been the heart and soul of the tour and of New Voyages. Every little thing that we've always done. If I brought something up that really seemed crazy, you're always like, "Yeah, you're crazy, boss," but okay, let's do it. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that's
Absolutely.
what's kept us together all these years. The fact that we understand each other, and we're all a little crazy. So.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We wouldn't be doing
Infinite
this.
diversity and infinite combinations.
That's it. Well,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, thanks for popping in. This is super exciting, James. It really
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
all my love and friendship to you guys, and see you soon, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Thanks, James.
I don't know how I'm getting out of this, but I'm going to get
Oh,
out of
there's
it.
an exit
I can
button.
at least remove you. So bye.
Talk to you guys. Take care.
Bye, James.
Okay, well that was exciting. That was nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
Good, great. So there you
Super
go,
cool.
right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. There you go.
Yeah.
James is the man as far as it goes. As far
Yeah.
as that goes. So
Yes. I
um,
was an anecdote to that, which is just amazing with him. We get this Galileo, you were there, into the workshop, and we pull off and unveil it. And his encyclopedic mind, he already is like, I'm showing you photos. Here's where this is off, and this is perfect, and this isn't, and this is what they did in this. It's all like right there. It's kind of overwhelming. You're just like, how can all that be in your head? It's impressive.
Yeah.
His encyclopedic
he studies
knowledge.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, he always
Yeah.
for years. I mean, when we were even doing the show, he had the notebook and pages of printed screenshots from the Blu-rays, so that we could see. That's how he figured out some stuff. Yeah, he had blueprint, but the other way, it was like, well, we don't know how big this was, so we know that Leonard is this tall and he's standing about this far away from it. Through
Well, man.
extrapolation, we know
Yeah.
that this should be about
Yeah.
this. I mean, it's
Right.
that kind of thing is what was going on for years.
So, yeah, numbers could have been a little bit off, but we all know that on TV shows they adjust things on the fly. They probably
Yeah.
just changed a few things here and there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll study something and then I'm all in it, but to know all the things, it's just always like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
So the Galileo is going to get some great love from James to give it a little restore and a little detail, and it's in the right place, that's for sure, for it to be.
Yeah. It is where it needs to be. I
Yeah,
think.
it is exactly where it
the
needs
only
to be.
other place I would thought that it would be more or as appropriate would be like in the Smithsonian at the Air and Space Museum itself.
Yeah.
But that would be the only other place that I could think that it would be.
Yeah. I'm
much happier it's going to be in Ticonderoga.
It's better in Ticonderoga, yeah, because eventually somebody in the Smithsonian's gonna go, we could hang an airplane in that spot, and it's in the gift shop again, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It probably wouldn't. They could have put it in. They have a whole section of just TV memorabilia and stuff like that area. And I think they didn't. They originally, and I mean, maybe you guys know, or Doc Alexander might know that I thought at one point that he had Adam had offered it to the Smithsonian, but they didn't want it because it was just too big.
Yeah.
What I had heard, whether that was true or not.
Way back in the 70s when we were trying to buy the shuttlecraft off the guy who had it in the RV parking lot, we were going to donate it to the museum in San Diego. There's an aerospace museum in San Diego.
Yeah, I've been to that one.
Yeah, and
really
they,
nice
as a matter of
museum.
fact, they put us in touch with another guy who had the navigation console. And
navigation
where he got
consoles,
it from,
yeah.
I don't know, but he had the navigation console, and
From the
from the
shuttle.
original series. No, from the original series, the nav
That one's
console.
at the Seattle Science Museum, isn't it?
No, this was in the 70s.
Okay. Oh, okay.
This is back in this is probably 79 or 80. A guy in San Diego had it, and it had the mechanism underneath the door for the scope and everything. And he was like, I don't know what to do with this. We're like, well, donate it to the museum with the shuttle. And then the people in the museum were like, well, that's a lot of space. Could you put that console inside the shuttle so to save on space? It's like, oh, okay, we're talking to the wrong people about this.
Yeah. No. Again, that's a great museum. I've been to that museum. But yeah, I don't know if it would have been as appropriate there. I think NASA was a good place. I mean, I know a lot of it because we all know that Star Trek inspired so many people into sciences. That I think it was appropriate there. Again, but we know it's now where it should be. It's finally home after it's like the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Finally it's come home to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be an amazing exhibit. And if we get what I really think, because people are going to come forward and help us, I'm super excited what Darren Dockerman and Doug Drexler can design and we can put together. I mean, it's going to be really cool. Special.
Yeah.
And Mike's going to light.
Mike's going to light it.
We're gonna do some neat stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get Jeff in there, and Jeff's amazing. And we're gonna do some really cool stuff, hopefully, and have some different scenes. If, like I said, all gonna come down to how much money.
Yeah,
so if you want the more cool lighting, donate early and often.
If you want to be the very first people in this shuttle bay with Trek Stars, go to our Kickstarter and pledge.
There you go.
And you can be the very first people to have your picture taken in there with William Shatner.
Yeah, we're about at the hour, guys. So I want to, kind of wrap this up because we try.
Yeah, we are at the hour. If anyone has to go.
Yeah. So let's any final words as far as we know. Okay, it's going to be February 14th, which is this Saturday at noon Eastern time. So anybody who's watching outside, just be aware that it is noon Eastern time. So you may have to get up a little early if you're on the West Coast, although not too early. That'll only be 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Yeah.
So to jump on board right away. And with the links we gave you guys, but of course, easily to find it. If you just go to Kickstarter, punch in Galileo, it's like the first thing that pops up. Yeah. So.
Yep. Yeah, that's the deal. Yeah, and I think people are going to love what they find there. And so it's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, what is just so we do our normal wrap up? What has Roy got going on this week?
Roy is no show this Friday, but he has a very special show Sunday night. He's having David Frankham back to celebrate David's 100th birthday. David's 100.
Wow. Is he really 100? David, those of you guys know, he played Markham, right? Was that his name? Dr. Markham?
Yeah.
On Is There No Truth in Beauty? He was the one that went insane because he looked at the Medusan without, he didn't matter if he had the glasses on or not, he was human. Yeah. So he had been up to the set tour, by the way, a few years back for one of our events. He's a very sweet man. So I tune in for that because he's really great. Because he was on a ton of stuff back then. Yeah. He was on a ton. It wasn't just Star Trek. He was on tons of stuff back then.
Oh, yeah.
So
that guy's super cool.
Yeah, he is awesome.
He was really nice. So
awesome to tell. Like, he'll tell you stories and And then Phil, just real quick, Phil is having all his usual stuff, but on Captain Phil's Planet, he's having Joe Denizen and Jane Gutter promote their upcoming gig at the Iridium in New York City. Joe Denizen, you guys may know not only does he have his own band, the Stratospherus. He also moonlights playing violin with a little band you might know called Kansas. Tune into WUSB Thursday afternoon for that.
Cool. And as usual, I have no idea what we're doing next week, but we'll figure it out as we always do.
I want to thank Brian and Dave. I am so excited.
Absolutely. I want to thank both of you guys for coming on and filling us in on this great project, and look forward to. I'm going to be there at noon, ready to spend my money. Do not tell my wife; she's not watching, so I can say this.
And a shout out to you, Mary Beth, too. You've been a part of this. It's super important too. Everybody in this screen.
I'm just scheduling the thing. I'm not.
Everybody on this screen is helping with this.
Oh yeah.
I love and care for Star Trek, and that's a thing.
No, but thank you guys for
Thanks,
pushing this, getting it going. You know, sometimes that we need things need a kick to get started.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brian's a
fun
great
there.
partner, and we were able to we work well with projects together, and we were great. This is a big one.
The big one.
Ooh.
Yep.
This is a big one.
But,
Yes, this is
yeah.
probably one of the larger. I mean, certainly we've never done a Kickstarter as a set tour, so this is definitely a big deal,
This is
and we
a
have
first,
never had anything this large, physically or otherwise, to really, you know, we've had unveilings, we've done new sections of the set, but this is really a big deal.
Guys, would you be willing to come back to give us a little update? You don't have to be on for the whole hour, but would you be willing to come back and give us a little update?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, we'll loop back in a bit, you know, whatever we feel is an appropriate amount of time. Now, how long is the Kickstarter running for? Usually those are what, a month or?
Believe it or not, we haven't set a date yet. About 30 days. How we put it that way? About 30 days. So
Yeah.
probably end around March 15th, I would guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of them that in my experience, that's a good pattern to run. Yeah.
And then we are going to extend a lot of the things, because now Kickstarter lets you do an extension. Even if you finished and you funded, you could extend. We're going to extend a lot of our things through March 31st. So if you want to pick up something late, you still can.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Phil wants to electrify the
Please
skin.
no, Phil.
So Phil's gonna have to be the one to test it, though, Phil.
We'll get him a big car battery in the back with a wrench, and he can work on that. Yeah.
Exactly. Make sure you get the big rubber gloves.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. On that note, we will say good night. As always, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you always. Good night, folks. See you next week.